Hello students, I hope you all are doing good. So here I have come with your 12th standard English Flamingo lesson number 1, the last lesson. And the author of this lesson is Alphonse Daudet. Now the story starts with the narrator, who is actually a student. His name is Franz and his teacher's name is M. Hamel. So we'll start with the story. I'll explain the whole story in brief. Okay. So the first part starts with late for the school. Now the narrator, whose name is Franz, he started for the school very late in that morning. So he was fearing that his class teacher, whose name is M. Hamel, he would ask questions, why you are late? And actually that day he was to ask questions on the participles. And the narrator was not at all knowing anything about it. So he was feared of scolding. So he thought for a while I should run away from the school and he should spend the time out of the doors only. But then he held his breath, he took courage and he decided to go for the school. Then the second part is, on the way when he was walking towards the school, past the town hall, he saw a big crowd in front of the bulletin board. For the last 2 years, it happened that all the bad news and whatever informations the village people wanted to give, they used to post it on the bulletin board. So he was surprised why these people have gathered there. But again, he was late for the school, so he did not stand there and he walked on. Then usually when the school began, there was a lot of hustle bustle, the opening and closing of desk, lessons which are being repeated orally loudly, which created a lot of commotion. But that day when he was walking towards the school, it was so still. Franz could depend on the commotion to get to his desk without being noticed. But now he went in before everybody. It means that everybody had reached the school and they were sitting in the class. So he had to pass from all those students. He blushed, he was quite frightened, but nothing happened. No punishment. M. Hamel saw and asked him very kindly to take his seat. These all thing was very surprising for M. Hamel. Then the appearance of M. Hamel. Now that day, Franz noticed that he was looking completely different. His teacher. M. Hamel usually was in formal clothes that he wore only on inspection or on the prize days. The whole school seemed quite strange and silent. The most surprising thing was the presence of the village elders. Now these village elders, they were sitting on the last bench. He was very surprised why that those village people have gathered there. They were sitting quietly on the back benches. M. Hamel mounted his chair, मतलब उसने chair खिसकाया, and spoke in a very serious and gentle tone. My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. He told them that an order had come from Berlin that only German would be taught in the school of Alsace. Alsace is the place where M. Hamel and Franz were living. The new master would join the next day. It was their last lesson in French. He wanted them to be very attentive. I hope you have understood the story now, that usually M. Hamel was teaching them French. But that order had come from the Berlin कि now onwards French won't be taught in the class. और next day दूसरे एक टीचर आने वाले हैं जो आपको जर्मन सिखवाएंगे. अभी फ्रेंच के क्लासेस खत्म होने वाले हैं. So it was the last day for M. Hamel in the school and it was his last class as well. Now you might have got the clear picture of the lesson. Then the narrator felt sorry. The narrator here is Franz. Franz felt sorry for not learning his lessons in French. अभी तक उसने कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं दिखाया था फ्रेंच में. He never liked his books. He did not have any interest in grammar and history, but now he developed a fascination for them. Even he started liking M. Hamel. The idea that he would not teach them anymore made friends forget all about his ruler. He even forgot how cranky his teacher was. Till now he believed कि ये पागल है, ऐसे समझाता रहता है, grammar पढ़ाता रहता है, and he did not develop any interest for French. But that day suddenly he started loving his subject. So the idea that he would not teach them anymore made friends forget all about his ruler. He even forgot how cranky his teacher was. Now it was his turn to recite. But he got mixed up and confused. M. Hamel did not scold him. So in the starting, I told you that he was very afraid that day because the teacher wanted to ask him something about participle, the grammar, about which he was not knowing a single word. So he was feared to go to the school. But now when his turn came and he did not know what participle was, M. Hamel did not even scold him and told him to sit down. Then M. Hamel showed his concern that people of Alsace generally gave no importance to French. They put off learning their own native language. France was not the only exception. Many others were also guilty on his count. He declared that French language was the most beautiful language in the world. It was the clearest and most logical. They must guard it among themselves and never forget it. It appeared that Miss M. Hamel wanted to give them all he knew before going away. Now as this was the last day for M. Hamel, तो उनको जितना फ्रेंच के बारे में इम्पोर्टेंस बतानी थी उसी दिन सब बच्चों को बता रहे थे कि ये इतनी ब्यूटीफुल लैंग्वेज है कि सबको पढ़ना चाहिए. But nobody is, not only M. Hamel, but nobody is giving attention or interest to this language, and he was very sad about it. Then the last part of the lesson, Viva la France. क्या देखो मतलब, all at once the church clock struck 12. The trumpets of the Prussian soldiers sounded under their windows. M. Hamel stood up, very pale in his chair. He tried to speak, but something choked him. He could not speak. Then he turned to the blackboard. He took a piece of chalk and wrote as large as he could, Viva la France. मतलब फ्रेंच की जय हो. मतलब he wanted, by writing this word, he wanted to give importance to the French language. But he was so sad that he could not speak anything. So he only wrote the Viva la France on the board. Then without speaking a single word, he made a gesture to them with his hand that school is dismissed. You may go. So this was all about the lesson. The first lesson. The last lesson. Okay children, this was your summary of the first lesson. I hope when we will meet in the class, I'll give you the detailed explanation about the lesson. By that time you can find the question answer from, you could find it from the application. But if you are knowing the summary, you can go through the answers very easily. Okay, till then, goodbye.